But there's been a lot of GMs. There's been a lot of successful GMs. There's been a lot of bad GMs. Me and Reek have to use our brain power, come together, agree on a top 3 GMs list. Now, I specified that they had to be a GM for multiple years. I mean, because there's a lot of one-offs, Shawn Michaels, et cetera.
Yeah, like the anonymous Raw GM days.
Yeah, the anonymous Raw GM
special guest GM every week.
So we have Eric Bischoff, Teddy Long, Vicky Guerrero, William Regal of NXT, which is underrated. Kurt Angle,
very.
Adam Pearce, my GOAT Nick Aldis, as of right now. Ava, The Authority. Ooh, we hated The Authority. But they might have been good at their job.
Facts.
And Daniel Bryan, SmackDown Live. Y'all know that's one of my personal favorite days. And I feel like it was only right to include DB, even if it was only for 2 years. We don't care.
Yeah.
He's on there. He fits the criteria. So, Reek.
Paige, too. Paige was a GM.
And Paige. Oh, I thought I had Paige on here. That's funny. Let's see. Because I think Paige did about.
I don't know if she was multiple years. I don't know if she was.
I said, wasn't it like segmented?
Multiple years. She was the GM for probably less than a year, I would say. Or I wouldn't even say GM. She was just like the women's division part of it, I think.
Okay, that's a bet.
Because they were going at whoever the male GM was at the time, if I'm not mistaken, and then she started like being like the women's division's like GM or whatever. But I don't think it was that long.
I'm gonna place her outside of the club because I ain't even put Mick Foley in the club.
Yeah,
and I probably should have put him in the club, maybe because he was GM.
Stephanie McMahon, SmackDown.
That's why I kind of threw her in with like, oh yeah, true, because she did do that a while back.
Yeah, she did it like the early years of SmackDown.
I kind of just wrapped her into the Authority though, because she ended up coming back later on as a much fiercer figure. So let's start with let's just break down their experience or how you felt about him at first. All right, how did you feel about Bischoff when he was a GM? If we were really even like around for that for real.
Yeah, I mean that was like, I think they brought him in like 05, maybe it was a little bit earlier than that. Maybe it might have been like 04. Didn't understand like the lore of like him being the guy for WCW and like getting brought over and stuff like that. As far as like a heel GM, like he played his role perfectly. Like he played his role to where he had a match with Stone Cold. I feel like if you're able to be like, if you're a heel GM and you're able to be an antagonist to the top guy, like I guess Vince McMahon could be thrown in there too, of like all the years that he was like the go-to person on TV as like the GM role, but it wasn't like called a GM. Because they did like Shawn Michaels as a commissioner and stuff like that. But I think Bischoff just did a good job of playing his role of playing like the heel character, which he did for the most part in WCW as well. I just think they might have thought it was going to be a little bit different, but he didn't have as much power as he did in WCW as he did in WWE. So some of the stuff that he probably wanted to do, Vince was like, "Nah, we're not going that far," or "Nah, we're not doing all that." But as far as like heel commentator, he's probably one of the best ones in my opinion.
For sure. Okay, Reese take over Bischoff. We gonna move on. I'm gonna tag on Teddy Long. You know, Team SmackDown guy. I think we both Team SmackDown though. I think. Yeah. Okay, so we both Team SmackDown, but I might just be tripping on all this. I mean, I'm just mad at you, Pierce. I'm telling you, I'm mad at you until my dog returns. I'm gonna keep stressing it. Teddy Long, probably the longest GM, active GM on here. I feel like he will make our top 3 off principle, but Teddy Long was our childhood, y'all. I'm not gonna cap. Teddy Long was our childhood. It was not a time we didn't hear "Hold On, Player." There was not a time we didn't hear "You Gonna Be in a Match with the Undertaker." As far as what Teddy Long brought, though, he did a lot, actually. I like how they incorporated him with Taker a lot and use him as a ploy. Like, kind of like when Taker was upset, he would kind of kidnap Teddy Long or make Teddy Long do what he says. And it kind of added to the lore of, like, I'm going to put you in a match with him because I got to do with him, too, at the same time.
Right.
I like how he dealt with Edge. He never let Edge slide. On God.
Never.
He never let Edge slide. I love that. He was very punishable to the heels, which is cool if you're a face GM.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he never let his face champions just he never let them slide either. Like, you was going to defend that belt. You was going to defend that belt on SmackDown. If you over there playing around on Raw, okay, bet. You going to put up that belt when you get back on SmackDown. So, I definitely like the way Teddy was rocking. Yeah, man. I think he was goated. If I had to give him a rank at the moment, I'm gonna give Teddy an S rank. That's me personally. What would you give?
For
What would
sure.
you give Bischoff though? I forgot to ask you. What would you rank him?
For Bischoff, I would say probably A, because he
A
did do
tier.
a lot of good stuff. Like he was able to, like my favorite Survivor Series is 2005. It was Bischoff versus Teddy Long in terms of like GMing, and I think they played a huge part in me enjoying the lead up to the storyline of like we've seen it now over the years where like Raw and SmackDown invade and the GM send them out. But
Right.
like when they was invading back then, it was like, they really invading because once the brand split happened and they really went into the full brand split, we didn't see guys
For
on the other
real.
shows.
For real.
So when those guys actually started showing up and Bischoff was like, yeah, go get this guy. And then you seen them like they met up in a parking lot and it was all 5 on each team. And it was like, but then you even had like Bischoff. He had his own Survivor Series team against was Stone Cold's team, I think, in like 2004. So he always was able to bring in something different. Like he had who was it? Jamal and Rosie with the just going out there beating people down. Um when they try to make Stephanie McMahon do like that one uh I don't want to say what the segment was, but I don't know if you remember what they were trying to do to her during one segment where they had women
Of course.
normally,
Of
and then it was like,
course.
"Oh, Stephanie, here you go with the yeah." But
They was
I would
doing
say
some
Eric
out of
Bischoff A
pocket
tier.
things, bro.
Yes,
Some
bro.
out of
Yes,
pocket
and
things, bro.
this was in a time where this is like 2004, 2005, so it's like it's pretty notable at that point to adults at
Right.
least. Like it's not like something that people like when you said it in like 1998, 1999, that people was like, we don't really see them. No, at that time you were seeing that in like real life, everyday life. So
Yeah, for
it
sure.
was crazy to still be doing that on TV at that time. But I'll put Eric Bischoff in the A.
Absolutely. No, that's fitting. I feel like that's fitting. I feel like he's one of the better ones on this list though. As we go down. I'm gonna hit you with one that I'm curious on your thoughts. And I think you're gonna be excited to explain this era. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go with Regal in his NXT era, because I know you loved some of your favorite matches are during that era. So how did you feel about Regal and how he had things coordinated and
I
everything?
love Regal. I fucking love Regal. Like I think he might be number one for real, for real. Like he's definitely S tier for me. I think the way he was able to be authority to anybody, it didn't matter who it was, and they never stepped to him. Like Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens. Like if William Regal told your ass get to the back, they was leaving. Like it wasn't no conversations. Like, and he never came out on TV and didn't like it just ruined time or took up time. Like if he came out and he had something to say, he came out while people was arguing or fighting, said what he needed to say, and everybody stopped and listened. Like he just had that authority. And granted, these are younger guys that are not on the main roster, so it's a little bit different. But it's also at that time, it was a lot of guys that had been established in the company and been established in wrestling. So for
Right.
them to stop and listen to what he was saying was big. And I think he gets extra points because he had a big role in bringing a lot of those guys there and women there. Of like he was the guy that was going out and doing talent relations and going out and scouting talent in the indies and overseas and all these different places and bringing these people in. And then he played an integral role on TV. Everybody knows the War Games. That everything that he did on TV had a purpose. Like he never was out there just to be out there. Like he didn't go out there for like there wasn't always a uh, contract like signing match. Like when it was for big stuff. Like when he was out there, it was for something big. It wasn't out there just to be out there. So he's an S tier for me.
S tier, absolutely. And I was just writing down our answers here. So we got A for Bischoff, y'all, so far. S for Teddy. S for Regal. I definitely believe Regal is an S because of, bro, he's still talked about to this day. Like the impact of his era is talked about to this day. And even the matches that took place during his GM era. So, I definitely like that. I'm gonna tackle Vicky Guerrero real quick. Now, I think she's in the A because of heel work, specifically, like you said. Dog, that woman drove everybody insane. To the point, like you said in a previous episode, bro. She was so insane, we forgot she was Eddie's wife. That is insane. Now, her kissing the Big Show and Edge was out of pocket. That's why you're not S. Because that right there, I don't want to ever see that again. You almost found yourself in B. I'm not going to lie. But I had to bump you up to A because you was also in the custody match. You know, you also helped out my dog Ray. So, I got to give you some credit. As far as your work, as far as the times on SmackDown during that time, I ain't going to say every episode was a hit. I'm gonna say some episodes were repetitive because we saw a lot of Cena, we saw a lot of all that. Cena was coming from Raw over there to do some nut shit. So you was letting people invade your show, take out the champ. You also blocked people from the championship. You was banning moves. Yeah, you might be B.
She was banning Hell's Gate.
Yeah,
Did ban the spear.
Ban the spear.
When Edge turned on it, like, yeah.
She was banning moves. She blocked Batista from the belt. Like, I don't know, dog.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. I'm going to say for the heel work, you're going to stay in A. But character, you might be B. So I'm going to say...
No, for sure.
I'm going to say B.5. How about that? We're going to say B+. B+. We're going to call you a B+, V. How about that?
The B+ player.
B+ player. Off real. All right. Great. I'm going to give you your choice who you want to go next. You have Kurt Angle, Pierce, Aldis, Ava, Authority, Daniel Bryan.
I'm going to go with my dog Pierce, man.
Pierce. They're going to defend Pierce at the moment.
So let's give Pierce some flowers, man.
For sure.
When nobody else was on TV as an authority figure, Pierce was. At one point, he was Raw and SmackDown until they brought in Aldis, and that was like after like 2 years. COVID time, just Adam Pierce. Even a little bit before COVID was just Adam Pierce. And he didn't even have like a real role yet. They never even said he was a GM. He was just the official, and he was like, and that's official. That was it. But anytime something happened and somebody needed to say something to somebody, it was Adam Pierce. Adam Pierce came out when somebody was doing something crazy. He came out when people was going too far. Everybody know the Ronda Rousey promo. Like, Adam Pierce has been an authority figure for longer than people realize. And I think it's hard for certain guys, especially a guy like Adam Pierce, who we didn't see really wrestle. Like, he was great on the indies and stuff like that, but we didn't really see him. Like, I've seen Nick Aldis. Like, I know what he did in TNA. I know what he did on the indies because it was a little bit more of my time. Adam Pierce was also great, but we didn't see it. So people don't have the same kind of like respect for him in terms of like, oh, he could do this if somebody say something to him. Like, when Nick Aldis got brought up, as soon as he got mentioned as a GM, we was like, oh, he might, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to him because that's Nick Aldis. That's Magnus. Like, he's former world champion. Like, like all this other stuff. But when it comes to Pierce don't get the same respect, even though he was really great too. So I think for him to be able to change really his whole life and just flip it, it's kind of like Corey Graves, like, couldn't wrestle, so he became a commentator. Like, Adam Pierce, like, couldn't wrestle, so he was like, all right, I'll go to this role. And then they were like, hey, we're gonna put you on TV, see how it works, see how it goes. And things worked out well, and he's made it through like multiple regimes. I think that's the biggest thing for him is like, I don't know if Nick Aldis would have been here with Vince. But Adam Pearce was able to be here when Vince was here, when Vince left, then when Vince came back, and then when it was fully Triple H. It's like he's been through all of these different things, and I think you can look at different moments and be like, okay, like yeah, he definitely looked like a punk here, but somebody has to. Somebody like you can't have the dude come out there overpowering a Braun Strowman or a Bronson Reed or a Braun Breaker, because then it looks like, all right, they can be tamed, all right, they can be stopped. Now we could all, like, we've seen in the past where people are like, all right, I told you calm down, and maybe somebody steps up for them, or they do have a match. Like we've seen Eric Bischoff have a match, we've seen Teddy Long have matches. Granted, they weren't good or anything like that, but even like with Kurt Angle, like Kurt Angle's like, hey, bro, like we can line it up. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think they'll ever do that with Adam Pearce. I think a lot of people think they'll do it with Aldis, but I think Adam Pearce doesn't get his just due. But I will put him in the A category.
For sure, man. You know what, Pierce? Since we ranking GMs, I'm gonna rock with the 8, man. You know, see, I'm just mad at you, bro. Like, I'm just mad at you, bro. It's a love-hate relationship, dude. I promise you, because you was there when Roman was getting right. You was there at the start of that. You was letting my dog slide. Like, you let my dog hit Kevin Owens with a golf cart. I'm not gonna lie. I was rocking with that. But now you let my dog get stomped out. So now it's you see where
It's
it
only
lies.
fair.
It's only fair, but you see where it lies. Y'all see where it lies. I'll still give you an A, especially because of your work that you did between Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed during their feud. I did like that backstage promo.
Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed too.
Yeah, he handles rivalries pretty well. I'll say that. It's just when factions get involved, he's cooked.
But I mean, that's a lot of people for you to try to
I mean, it is.
contained.
It definitely
because
is.
like with the bloodline, you can say it, but if they really on that timing, you can't do a thing. Them dudes is huge. Ain't nothing you can do if the bloodline say, "Oh, we on that."
Nah, they don't even say we own that. They say we own that, nigga.
They just are.
They say we own that, nigga. I'm like, whoa, y'all can say that? I guess. Not really. I don't know why y'all be spamming, but it's like, that shit funny, man. Nah, Pierce is very good. And it speaks volume that they had him do Netflix. Obviously, you have to be great at your job to do Netflix. You have to be prepared. You have to be liked. And obviously he was longest tenured. So, bro, shout out to him. He the OG of the new era GMs. And I see him being our new Teddy Long, low key. Like,
I was about to say, he's been there for a long time, actually, because he was there when it was him and Sonya, and that was much before COVID.
Yeah, he's.
That was like maybe 20.
I'll say
maybe early 2019.
But when he's main, probably early 2020 as main, just him running SmackDown. Yeah. So I would say about 5 years, 5.5.
Yeah.
Teddy,
that's a long time for a GM.
Because Teddy was GM for like 7 years, like for real.
Yeah, it felt like forever. I mean, there was times where they moved him out and brought in Vicky, and then moved out Vicky and brought him back. So like, if you do their time and combined, they probably don't have as long, because Teddy was probably like 04, because Stephanie was the GM on SmackDown for a good minute. Then they went to Kurt Angle and Heyman. Then they went to Teddy Long for probably like 4 or 5 years before Vicky came in. And then Vicky was it probably 3-ish. So, but then they brought Teddy Long back. So it's like,
that boy
in total, he probably did end up like closer to like 7-8 years.
For sure. I can respect that. I might as well tackle my boy Aldis, Cash Money, Aldis, big money, A. You feel me? Aldis. Same reason for Pierce, though, on the low. You let my dog do whatever he want on your show. Not really, though, because you definitely was trying to take it to the bloodline. Like Rick said, though, ultimately, they dogs. They did what they wanted to do. As far as, like, Aldis, I like the business things he does, bro. Like I said, SmackDown acquiring Sami Zayn for LA Knight is a fleece. I don't care. We fleeced y'all on Raw. If you're a Raw fan, we fleeced y'all. Straight robbery. Now, My dog also took it. Now he don't be on TV. I blame Triple H. I don't blame Aldis. I ain't gonna lie. Aldis be trying. He also drafted Melo number 1. We have to give him some type of credit for that. We have to. So he sees potential. I like that about him. He also let Trick Williams invade on his show. I like that as well. There's a lot of things that Aldis allows that I like. As far as character, like you said, he didn't quite change his whole. I mean, he did change his persona. I mean, but people do still expect him to wrestle, so not quite to the degree of Pierce. I'll say that's like half a point on that. What else does? I mean, I'm trying to think also what he does good because the episodes be nasty. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to think about all this. The episodes be kind of nasty. The episodes be nasty. The tag team situation still sticky, my brother. We've been kind of carouseling that a little long. You do give them opportunity to go out there and do their thing, though. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. You give them a lot of opportunities to do things. I'm trying to think about on the other front. Like, I'm trying to think on the women's front. That'd be kind of that's kind of garb too, my brother. I'm not gonna lie. Now that I'm thinking all this in my head, I think I'm liking you because you was letting my dog do whatever he wanted on the show. I think that's really what it is. And now that we've
Which
come
Pierce
to that,
did originally.
which Pierce did do originally, I'm
And the
starting.
most important time of it.
I'm gonna give you a B for now, Aldis, because your tenure is not as long as Pierce's. I do like the business side. I do like the character. You really not a punk though. Now I know somebody has to be a punk, but you really not a punk.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm not liking though is, bro, how are we not seeing through the mid shit yet? That's something that I'm not going with. You see my man's Mello trying, bro, to get his one-on-one fade, and you kind of playing. Now that Sami Zayn doing the open challenge, I need you to go out there. Now,
Yeah.
Aldis, don't gatekeep. If you start gatekeeping, I might be Team Pierce. I'm always Team SmackDown though, but I might convert on you. Y'all see what Young Thug doing right now?
He also let Pierce steal Braun Breaker.
I mean,
because he had got Braun Breaker. He had signed into the show right before the draft.
He did.
And then Pierce went and drafted him real early, so he stole him back. So it's like and then he was able to get Penta. That's big. Pierce was able to get Rusev.
I ain't gonna lie.
Pierce was able to bring in Roxanne.
I ain't gonna lie. Look. I can't blame all this, bro. He competing with Netflix. I can't blame him for that though. I can't blame him for that, bro. Come on, bro. They got Penta, Roxanne. They got Liv. They finna have AJ Lee. They got Rhea. Bro, they want me to send out Michin and B-Fab.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wildin'. What am I gonna do? You know what? All this, I ain't gonna switch up on you. Matter of fact, I never switch up on you, bro. I ain't gonna switch up on you, bro. I'm gonna keep my word. As long as we do this pod, I'm gonna be Team Aldis, and y'all can reference episode 55. Y'all can reference episode 55. I'm gonna stand on that. This is, right. And you wanna know why I stand on that? Because I don't expect Roman to go back to SmackDown, so I ain't got to deal with no BS. We good. Bro, he got Roman too.
Aldis get a lot of his top guys be getting taken out now. Let's keep it above. Randy then got taken out multiple times. Cody got taken out multiple times. Like that's your money makers. You be letting them get put out. Like not just put out for some time. Randy done missed a lot of time twice.
Look, bro, we can't. Now that's Drew, bro. Drew was doing the same thing on Raw. You feel me? Like, look.
Look though. And when he did, what you say?
It's tough. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop him, bro. Look. All this trying to do the right thing though. I mean, he put Randy and Drew in the match. If Randy get hurt in that match, you just got faded up. Can't be mad. Now, Cody, I ain't gonna lie, Cody. That's tough. No, I ain't seen
It's the face
Cody.
of the company, and you
I
let
ain't
him
seen
get
Cody in a
attacked
grip.
multiple times. Just saying.
He need to stop going out there and saying, "What do you want to talk about? Stay in that bus."
Now he can't even do his show.
Nah, let me
That's
quit
crazy.
playing, man. Let me quit playing because Roman be out there talking some acknowledgement. You got his shoes took. I'm glad we kind of got him back. We got 2 shoes. It's whatever. Who the next GM, man? Let's get it. Let's go. Well, Aldis, I gave you a B. I'm not gonna lie. You know what, Reek? Let's go with Ava. Go ahead and go with Ava. We might as well get the modern day out the way.
I think she's the perfect GM for what NXT is now. Someone that's young, someone that can understand all the and understand like most of their gripes and what they're trying to do. But she's also somebody that, since she's the same, like around the same age as most of them, she isn't going to take anything, or she's not going to be confused or tricked by anything. Um, and she does like present authority. Like there's not people that really like try to go at her or make her look bad or make her sound bad. Like the only time we saw that was with I forget Brett's name. He got released. Eddie Thorpe. That's really the only guy. Everybody else, like if she say something, they just kind of go with it. Like nobody really like tries to check her or anything like that. So uh, I think she deserves a lot of credit too, because she's not someone that was like, I mean, she technically grew up in the business, but she really didn't, because The Rock was out of it for a long time. Um, and then when she decided she wanted to become a wrestler, she did it. She was on TV. It didn't, work out like originally, like how maybe people had thought it would. So she kind of like pivoted. Not to say she'll never get back in the ring, but she pivoted to a role that fits her. Like she's able to talk, but she's able to still train and get better, and maybe eventually get to a spot where she can be an in-ring wrestler, an in-ring competitor. Um, but I think for somebody that's like new to the business, relatively new, like it would be like if Dom's sister Ray's daughter, like after 2 years, became the GM and was really good at it. Like that's kind of how I look at it. Is like she wasn't really in the business, but she's still doing a really good job of being that person on TV that like is supposed to be the authority figure. Because again, she is young, so like some people be like, nah, bro, she's too young. Like you can't tell me what to do. But no one ever like. Rarely do we have to see Shawn Michaels. Is my thing. Because
Right.
we don't have to see Triple H on our main roster, so we shouldn't have to see Shawn Michaels, even though we know Shawn Michaels is the guy that's like doing creative and all that. Like when we see Triple H, that's when we know like, oh shit, it's some real shit. When we see Shawn Michaels, we know some real shit. So it's like if it ever gets to that point, we get it, but it doesn't get to that point very often. So I think Ava, she's probably a B, but I do think she deserves a lot of credit for what she's done over the last couple of years.
How does she? How does she? I mean, hey, there's some things that be going on the show. Dark State be going
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Over
Yeah,
Femi throwing people from the ring through a table.
that's in a match.
That is in the match, but I'm just saying, I thought that was hilarious. We never talked about
Nah,
that,
that
which
was
is
hilarious.
that was hilarious. I meant the
I was like, damn!
yeah. I said check on him immediately because that is nuts.
I was like, that's because when he did it, when he went to throw him, I was like, really he about to throw him? He lost his ass. I can't lie.
I can't lie. I was amazed by the strength. I didn't even know that was. I don't know.
Facts.
How does things go on in NXT? How do you feel like things operate? You know, how you think? How
I
do you
think
think?
I think there's a little bit of chaos, but that's to be expected considering they're all very young, very up and coming people that want to get to the top. But I don't think it's like, because even when Rigo was the GM, the parking lot still was not a safe place to be. Even if they didn't actually get hurt there, like we saw Hideo Itami get hurt there. Um, there's a couple other people that got hurt, but I remember Hideo Itami had gotten hurt back there because they had Kevin Owens walk past and they're like, oh, was it Kevin Owens? It ended up just being somebody else. I can't remember who it was. Um, so I would say like Dark State really ain't nothing she could do about it. Like, to be honest, like
They did some YEs, bro.
and if you think about it, they're probably the best possible or like the worst possible people to try to stop. You want to know why? Because they used to be security guards. So they know where
they know
everybody
the
gonna be.
tactics.
They know what everybody gonna do. They know everything already. Which they talked about that in a promo, which I love. They talked about how many stars had to be security guard. They're like, if you want to be a star in the WWE, you gotta be a security guard first, or you gotta be security first. And they showed all these different people
All
that were
them
security at
appearances.
one point. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of people. Like I've seen a good bit of people, but there were some people I saw and I was like, damn, it was okay. They showed Mello. I remember Mello. I remember Trick. I don't know if they showed Oba, but there was a couple people I saw and I was like, they was security.
There was half of them where I was like, it's AI. Because I was like, I was like,
but I remember seeing Deion Lennox for a long time because he's been there for a little minute. And I remember seeing him like over and over, and I was like, I'm off like Jason Jordan.
he's very distinct with it, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, man.
But I think she does a good job as far as like keeping things pretty much under wraps. Like she hasn't let Jordan Grace get her hands on Blake Monroe over the last couple of weeks. She doesn't really let people get attacked. Now, I will say the Javon Evans thing looks kind of bad, but again, she doesn't have. I mean, she has what's his face? I forget her name. She has the one guy that's like her assistant or whatever, but he not forcing no authority. I forget her name. He was with Chelsea Green when she was in NXT.
Hold the frame. Just hold up 1 second. Your screen kind of froze for a second, and the audio stopped.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to make sure. Say something now.
Yo.
All right, go ahead.
Is it bad?
Well, it's now it's like we got a delay because like now I'm talking, but now the response is like 3 seconds. Not even 3 seconds.
Let me leave and come back. See what happens.
That's a bet. In the meantime, y'all, I'm gonna chill here. We gonna jam out. Is that cool? Ducky, quack, quack. Hold up. One more time. Ducky, quack, quack. Yes, sir. Reach back in the building. We just had a dance break while you was going. I ain't gonna lie. Soon, y'all, I'm gonna try to get glamour added on here, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my
we
God,
got a new jam track. I'm gonna try to get it on here. It's been a while since I updated our soundboard, but hey, we still got the necessities in here. As long as I got this, that's really all I need. I ain't gonna lie. That's my favorite one, as y'all know. It looped. My fault, y'all. It looped on me. Well, damn, I lost my train of thought, but I feel like that's a good point to move to. Shout out Ava, official B rating. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle something real quick. I'm gonna maybe give my first surprise ranking to some people. I'm gonna give Daniel Bryan an S, y'all. I'm gonna give Daniel Bryan an S. Now, let me tell y'all why. Listen, now, if you was around during the SmackDown Live era, it was initially Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan running the show. And as y'all know, bro, we don't see Shane McMahon too often. So for Daniel Bryan to be behind Shane McMahon and still be able to be looked at as the main authority figure on the show over a McMahon, that's pull. You also had AJ Styles. Let's not forget, at that time during the draft, Raw low-key had all the youngins. I'm not gonna say all the youngins, but they had the young kind of stars, potential stars.
Mm-hmm.
We low-key on SmackDown Live, we had AJ. That's a huge pull. But we also had an older John Cena. Mm-hmm. We had an older Randy Orton. Shinsuke was fresh. I'm not gonna lie, but still, some people didn't know Shinsuke for real. Some people didn't watch NXT for real, so they didn't know Shinsuke. So Daniel Bryan had some weird stuff to work with. He had James Ellsworth to work with, which was types poop. I can guarantee y'all he didn't ask for that. I can guarantee that. He also made Dean Ambrose very important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. Dean Ambrose was super important. I'm not saying he wasn't important before, but I ain't gonna lie. WWE champion important. I don't know if I ever seen that. I ain't gonna cap to y'all. I loved it, bro. I loved it. During SmackDown Live, the Intercontinental Championship was booming. The WWE Championship was booming. Every title felt relevant on the show at the time. He even had a backstage promo with The Miz where I don't even know if at that point it was scripted or not. I mean, people say it was, it wasn't. I don't know. But for that even to be that much of a blurred line, him as a GM is nuts. Now, he couldn't even get back in the ring at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So people were sad about that. But he still put himself in a position to be in things, be involved, be in everything. Like his morale could have been trash on the show. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Y'all gotta think about what that man was going through. His morale could have been trash. But he was a GM for the people. Oh, y'all want to see AJ Styles and John Cena on this SmackDown? Say that. Y'all want to see that? Yes, yes, yes. Say that. Y'all got it. We got what we wanted on SmackDown Live all the time. And that's probably why that's one of my favorite eras of WWE in general. It probably is my favorite era of WWE in general, which is crazy to say. Like, I feel like if somebody was to ask me on the street, they'd probably be like, what? Because it was only like a 2-year span.
Mm-hmm.
But for that 2 years, it was a strict brand split. And Daniel Bryan had his roster. I promise you I was tapped in at all times.
For sure.
I got to give my dog an S. I have to. Which may be surprising to people at home. Maybe
it was
not
a little surprising
to
to me at first. But I just went and looked at some stuff, and I was like, okay, it makes sense. Because I couldn't remember how long he was the GM. But he was the GM until 2018, so...
Some 5, bro.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Look at SmackDown when he left, y'all.
During that SmackDown Live term. Yeah, the SmackDown Live time was definitely
elite, bro.
Elite. Like, it made a lot of their stars. Like, they're not still in there, but it made I don't say it made, but it gave Alexa Bliss the opportunity, it gave Becky Lynch the opportunity, it gave Naomi the opportunity, it gave Carmella the opportunity, it gave even Natalya the opportunity to be a world champion. Like, it opened the door for so many different wrestlers on that show. Like, even Heath Slater was a big part of the show. Rhino had another run. Baron Corbin was a big part of the show. Like, it just opened up so many doors, and it felt like SmackDown from 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. And I think that was the perfect place to put Daniel Bryan, because he would have fit on Raw because of Daniel Bryan, but he was perfect for the SmackDown, because if he was in the WWE in the early 2000s, he would have been on SmackDown.
It's just the fact, like, bro, he was also dealing with a big man beside him.
Yeah.
Who was, I'm just going to keep it a stack, who was kind of dealing with identity crisis issues. I'm not going to say identity crisis, but daddy issues, wanting his dad's approval, throwing himself in matches, blah, 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 whatever. Dealing with all that, put your best foot forward, also dealing with your neck injury.
I was about to say neck injury, kid. Like, they had a kid in the middle of that.
A lot going on. And you went out there and
with the company no more, I don't think, by that time.
At all. That's what I'm saying. You wasn't even like with your wife at the time. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I say he was going through a lot, but you're going through a lot. Like, Bree is simply taking care of Birdie by herself. Not by herself, but like she's all the way in, I forgot where they stay, some small town.
Boston, I think.
Some small town, right? And then
they may
all the way traveling week to week to week to week. That's also true. She could have been there, but I feel like SmackDown Live, that's back when they was doing stupid dates.
And they was doing Tuesdays. So it wasn't like Monday to Friday. It was doing you Raw Monday, Tuesday, SmackDown, and then they was doing live events like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I feel like
it was a nutty schedule.
Yeah,
and
which they don't even do live events like that no more.
Nah, they cut that down, bro. You know, Roman got up there. He was like, I ain't not doing all that. Nah, it probably wasn't even him, bro. It's probably a multitude of wrestlers. Like, bro, y'all are like killing us, dog.
For
like,
certain people, like for some people, it's like, all right, you're in front of crowds, you're able to continue to get better. For some people, they've been doing it for so long, like it's only gonna help you so much. Like, I think for somebody like Dom, when he came up and he like just went to the Judgment Day, I think that was huge for him then. I think Roxanne like does well with those, but not everybody needs it, I don't think.
For sure. Now the house shows are dope. And the live shows are dope because it's pretty much ran by the talent on the low. Like they pretty much get to do what they want when they go out there. Next up, I mean this I feel like this is brief, but Kurt Angle.
He was all right,
brief.
but they kind of like
whatever.
They kind of just nerfed him.
Yeah.
They made him seem like he was just some comedy character, and he did really good comedy when he was an actual wrestler. But this just felt different. Like it felt similar to like Mick Foley. Like they just made them like kind of like jokes of a character to where like Mick Foley was, doing whatever Stephanie McMahon said. Triple H was out there like making them look like they were less than. So yeah, I don't. Nah, the Raw GM version of Kurt Angle, probably a C.
C. And while you at it, since I know you hated this group as a kid, we all did. Collectively, the Authority. How are we feeling? Together, we both hated them.
Fortunately, it's an S because of how much I hate them.
It is an S. It is an S. They have the best. There's always a plan B. Anytime I hear plan B in WWE now, I can't even look at it the same.
Literally.
I cannot look at it the same. It's an S tier. They were annoying. They oppressed Daniel Bryan. They turned Seth against the world. It was nasty times, bro. They even had Laurinaitis, bro. Oh, God. They was even rocking Laurinaitis, bro, and he was right.
That Best for Business shit, that was like the most annoying shit I've ever heard, bro. That and $9.99.
Chill, because we missed $9.99.
No, I enjoyed the WWE Network, but hearing them say $9.99 every single week, multiple times, like $9.99 for $9.99. Like we get it, gang. Like damn, but the Best for Business shit, like I don't think that's Best for Business. Oh, this is Best for Business, and it'd be like Kane versus Roman, and this is corporate Kane. Like nobody asked for that. See, I'm getting mad all over again. Like they definitely
S tier, man.
I hated
S tier. As a collective, we must agree on the top three. Restless Wrestling has to have a top 3 GM, so that way we can let people know.
Me personally, I have no order. I have Regal, Teddy, Authority.
Regal, Teddy, Authority. I agree on Teddy. I agree on Authority. And I can actually agree with Regal because he had a longer tenure than DB. I can say that. Because DB would be my third, only because of the times.
Mm-hmm.
But that era of Regal, I mean, he breathed so many stars, bro. What can you do? Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
I think that's a consensus top 3. I think that's pretty fairly easy. That's pretty fairly easy. I can agree.
Yeah.
Shout out Daniel Bryan. You are my honorable mention.
Yeah. I think they have a good argument.
For sure.